I'm wearing over the ear headphones today, a gray sweatshirt, and I'm coming at you from my home office.
Awesome. So the way this works every week that we get on is we just come on and we banter about whatever's top of mind. Did you have anything, Anne, that you wanted to share that's top of mind for you?
What's top of mind for me? Oh, and this is the stupidest thing probably, but now that I'm in marketing, I notice like branding and how people like use it properly or don't use it properly. So I would just like to go on the record and state that Copilot does not have a hyphen in it.
Mm.
Um,
That's that's good to know.
yeah. So when we talk about Copilot, because it's Microsoft Copilot, so capital M, capital C. And then when you're talking about it like non-specifically, like you can just say Copilot with a lowercase c, like you're using Copilot capabilities.
Okay.
If you're referring to the product, it's Microsoft Copilot. And then if you're referring to like Copilot capabilities in a product, it's Microsoft Copilot in product name. So fun facts from me. New things. See, I've developed new pet peeves I didn't know I had, but there is no hyphen. It's just Copilot, one word.
Yeah. That's awesome. Maybe what's top of mind for me is like all these I, it's like the Gartner, the Magic Quadrant stuff, right? And
Yeah.
all these like market surveys. We just like you shared it.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I shared it, but I definitely liked it and saw because like Georg posted about it, Swami, Samir, like a bunch of people have been posting about the recent one, and I can't remember the name of the company. It starts with an IF
IDC.
IDC. Thank you.
Yeah.
So IDC just released theirs and put us right up there in the top, which was super
For large
awesome.
ERP and enterprise, which is great.
Yeah, and I actually literally this morning before we went live, I reached out to two of my customers about the Gartner Peer Insights, which we're in the process of doing that. So it's just I think it feels like it's like market insights season right now. Like we're
Pretty
all like
much,
it's
yeah.
time to like get all those surveys together, and those recipients and all those reports getting released right around this time of year. So that's kind of what was top of mind because that's I literally was doing that just this morning. But always top of mind for me are business process guides and catalog because I'm like live, breathe, and dying, sweating, whatever. Like the business process catalog. We've got our part 2 of our tech talk is tomorrow.
Oh,
Um,
exciting.
so that's exciting. If you're not signed up for that tech talk, definitely make sure you get on the list and get signed up. Um, so yeah. What else?
I just saw a post about actually, Rachel, I think you and I will both be pretty excited about this one, and maybe we'll need to go test it out. But as of version 10.0.38,
Mm-hmm.
standard cost with discrete manufacturing is now supported in the Global Inventory Accounting Service.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I know. When did we do a tech talk on that one? Like a
Oh,
year and a half ago? Like early 2022?
yeah. It's been a while. It's been a
It's been
hot
a
minute,
while.
that's for
But
sure.
we have our first manufacturing accounting capabilities in global inventory accounting. So if you've been waiting for that, get out there and test it because we definitely want your feedback. And I can see we've got a question on YouTube, Rachel. We need
Yeah.
to people of how to sign up to Tech Talks.
I was literally just working on getting the link so that I
Perfect.
could paste it in here. I'm terrible at multitasking.
What?
Okay. I'm going to paste it in the comments here. I think I have to go do it in LinkedIn too. I can put it on screen as well. But it's a terrible long. I don't have a short URL. It includes a GUID.
Okay.
So
Well, the question was from our YouTube, so hopefully
yeah. Okay.
they got it.
So
Yep.
that's the link that you can see on screen right now. But like I said, it's got a big, terrible long GUID. But I did post it in the comments, so you should be able to click that link from there. So definitely check it out. Join us tomorrow. We moved the catalog to the Microsoft Download Center. So it was in GitHub. But we moved it to the Microsoft Download Center. And really the main reason for that is GitHub doesn't have any reporting for us. And we're trying to monitor how many people are downloading it. And we can't do that from GitHub. So all the other resources are still over in GitHub, like the templates and the process flow diagrams and all that kind of stuff. But the actual catalog itself, the two versions of it, the Azure DevOps version and the original like Excel file, are now in the Download Center. So we'll be talking more about that in the Tech Talk tomorrow, and just how to use it in general, like how to navigate it, how to navigate to the guidance that's related to it, and that sort of thing. So definitely come check it out if you're not familiar, and learn more about it. And we've got 3 more Tech Talks in the series. And the link that I posted there takes you to the series page where you can see all of them. But we're going to be adding 15 more parts to the series as well. So we're going to be doing 1 session for every single end-to-end process. So like acquired to dispose will have its own, and we'll like dive into like what is acquired to dispose all about, and talk about that process specifically, what the products are, what the benefits are, all that kind of stuff, and give people an opportunity to ask questions specific to acquired to dispose. And so then kind of rinse and repeat for every single one of the end-to-ends is the plan. We probably won't go in order, like alphabetically or anything like that. I'm leaving it up to each of the end-to-end owners, because we've got a huge team of people here that work on business process guides behind the scenes. And obviously that community, we hope, is going to continue to grow, with the wonderful community, all of you that are watching today. We hope that you contribute. We had our first contributors last week, which was super exciting as well. So shout out to Anya Inez Uritas, who is a MVP. She's based out of, I want to say like Australia or New Zealand, somewhere in APAC. Or no. She's in Europe. Spain, maybe.
I actually got the chance to meet her at Ignite a few weeks ago as well, which was really cool.
She's awesome. I love her. So she is our official first contributor, contributing an L2 article that's specific to the hire to retire process. So that article will be published pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to make it in before the end of the year, because like we've got a lot of people on holiday and stuff. Like I think Eva, who does the publishing side of things on the Learn site, is taking some holiday, rightfully so. It's that time of year. So it might be the first round in January. But we also had another contributor, Nathan, his username is Nathan DL, who contributed some articles, edits out on articles that were already published. So he submitted 2 different edits, which is super cool and exciting. So shout out to both of them. They don't know this, but something special is in store for them. So if they're watching, surprise, you get a special gift for being the first. And I don't know, like we might do special gifts for more contributors. So all the more reason to contribute. I don't want to spoil the surprise, by telling on today's call what it is, but there will be a special gift for them. And they can share once they get their gift what it is and how exciting that is.
Yeah, that's very cool. It's amazing to see how much it's continued to grow. I'm really impressed, and
Yeah.
I think it's a testament to how important the work is, that it's getting the support and contributions from the community as well.
Yeah, I mean, so right after this call, I was kind of telling you I've got like an all hands meeting and we're going to be talking about it. But, part of the message that we're really trying to get out is that this is so much more than just documentation. Documentation is like the foundation to the house for us, right? And I think it's so key and so important. And it's, I think, something that the community has been wanting and needing for a long time. But I think that there's a lot more on our list, and wheels are already starting to work and be put in motion for a lot of these pieces. The Azure DevOps version of the catalog was just another baby step to kind of helping customers and partners optimize their ability to project manage their projects. But we're having conversations, like changes are coming to the fast track. It's not called fast track anymore. It's called the Dynamics implementation portal. So changes are coming there, probably January, February. Like they're working on the development now, but we'll have new profiling capabilities directly in the portal. And we're kind of working and planning out, like, what does scoping and estimating look like? So partners will be able to actually go out to the implementation portal and create a project in the portal before a customer has actually bought any licenses. And anyone will be able to do this and kind of use it to help with their whole pre-sales process. And so we're introducing some new tools to help in that pre-sales phase. And then once you kind of flip the status of it and you've purchased licenses, then the normal kind of fast track stuff that people know and are used to today will start to take effect. But we've got a lot of plans and hopes for what we can do there. I've been working with Lane and Sankeet and Sarab, who own LCS and PPAC and RSAT and some of the other things, right? Because as a part of our ODOP, which is, how good we are at making acronyms. So ODOP is One Dynamics, One Platform. So with that, LCS is gradually kind of moving over to the Power Platform Admin Center. Some pieces are moving into the implementation portal. Some pieces are going elsewhere. But one of the tools inside of LCS for F&O customers, finance and operations customers, is the Business Process Modeler, or the BPM. And like that is going away. And I've been getting a lot of questions about it. So what does that mean? Is the catalog the new replacement? And to say that the catalog by itself is the new replacement isn't really true. It's certainly the replacement of the APQC catalog, but the way in which we publish it is, obviously changing and evolving. But the Business Process Modeler did a lot more than just a list of processes. So we're working on trying to figure out what that looks like. And, through the different phases of the project, the different audiences that need to consume that information. We're kind of reimagining and re-envisioning what that all looks like and where that functionality lands, because we have to kind of reinvent how task guides get surfaced, how the help gets surfaced, how the Azure DevOps integration works. So there's a lot of work happening there, and that's super exciting. So
it's probably worth recapping for anybody who maybe isn't up to the latest on ODOP. Probably. So let's recap maybe first what it is at its core is that we have two separate Dynamics platforms for our products. Finance and operations runs on the F&O platform, and the customer engagement apps run on the Dataverse platform. And ultimately, to have the best first party product integration experience, we need to all be on the same platform, which is why we're moving everybody to Dataverse, right?
Yeah.
And as part of that, we deprecated LCS. When?
Well, we
How
haven't
long has
deprecated
been?
it yet.
When will it be
will be.
deprecated?
Like individual features in LCS have been deprecated as they've been moved over. So there's lots of little pieces inside of LCS that have been deprecated, but eventually
Okay.
all up LCS will be deprecated.
Do we have a date on that yet?
No, they
Okay.
haven't announced the date on that yet. Obviously,
And when they do announce, they'll have at least a year because we're
I don't know
nice
that
like
they're
that.
it may not, because there's some things that we just like, we deprecated it, and as long as there's a replacement that's equivalent functionality, we just redirect you.
Well, I think even then, typically we give you time to
Yeah,
migrate because
yeah.
anything
Some features though,
software.
like there is no migration. It's just like the button, the URL is just different now, right? And
Yes, but you have to, well, like, it's not necessarily data migration, it's
Mhm,
process migration. And like
mhm.
anytime we're talking IT, there needs to be testing involved, especially if you're
Oh
in a
yeah,
regulated industry. So you can't just say like lift and shift, right?
yeah,
Even if it is that simple, you have to give people time. So we're
yeah,
normally pretty good about doing that. I would think for something the magnitude of LCS to something else, that
yeah.
there would be a grace period. Um,
Like environment deployment is an example of one of those. So like you can now deploy environments directly from
through PPAC, Power
PPAC.
Platform Admin
You can
Center.
still
Yeah.
technically do lots of it, most of it, all of it from LCS. But a fair number of the buttons now redirect you to PPAC. And it's the same screens, it's the same whatever. It's just the URL that you see is different.
Gotcha.
And we've also been like, even when you deploy from LCS, you can go see the environment in PPAC and like get to the environment management and things like that. But there's still certain pieces that haven't migrated, like the asset library is an example.
Yep.
There is no asset library like over in PPAC yet.
Yep.
There are certain things that you can do that are similar, right? Like the build the build and like deploy pipeline, like with
Hmm.
solutions, like so you can do some of that stuff from PPAC, but it's not equivalent functionality yet. So we
Yeah.
can't take away the old way of doing it because it's not all the same.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more. ODOP is, to your point, right? It's a lot more than just LCS. There's been a
Right.
lot of things that, like, we've been releasing features in this like ODOP kind of vision for a long time. Dual write and virtual entities are all part of that ODOP. So what's important to note is like F&O, like X++ don't go away, right? But there's definitely things that we've been doing to help bring databases closer together, to bring the programming and the admin experience. So there's like the user experience, like there's all these like channels of ODOP
Mhm.
that there's different, PMs and engineers that are working on different aspects of it. So, some of the early work we did was around virtual entities and dual write, and that's not going away. I think there's a long-term goal to move the F&O database into Dataverse, so that it's just another Dataverse database. I mean, at the end of the day, behind the scenes, Dataverse and F&O database are just Azure SQL databases. Like there's also like file storage is Azure Blob, right? Like, so behind the scenes, like the technology is technically the same, but it's like you have to go to two different places to see it. So for that dev experience, like improving that it's a big deal. I mean, we just recently, I think it's preview. I don't know if it's I'm pretty sure it's not GA'd yet, but the one the new dev experience. So like basically you can deploy like a development environment in the NP-PAC, right? And have like this developer environment directly. It's like a
Yeah,
stripped
it's
down
still in
tier 2.
preview.
Yeah. It's like a stripped down tier 2 environment. And so that is I see you put the link in the chat. That's a big deal for the one developer experience, is like getting to a place where you can, and that was a big step for us, right? Technologically, right? We had to like make a better developer experience for F&O. And there's a lot of technical bits that have to be unwound, but like the user experience, right? So on the UI front, like they've been doing a bunch of work uptaking Fluent controls. And I didn't really know what Fluent controls were, but
I still don't know.
Like I kind of get it and I kind of don't, like, but basically think of a Fluent control as like a template, if you will, like of what a button looks like, or what the close icon looks like, what, like every little component, right? So there's a Fluent control for the close icon, there's a Fluent control for the minimize icon, what a tab looks like, so they've been updating everything to use Fluent controls, and that's actually what makes all of the Microsoft apps look the same. So like when you are in Outlook or Word or Dynamics, that the same look and feel applies to any of those buttons. And so they did a huge exercise uptaking Fluent controls in the Dataverse so that like all the forms have the same look and feel across all the different apps. It also helps with like performance and accessibility, but then, right, they did the same thing to F&O so that the look and feel across the apps is more similar. There's still more work to be done. Like, how do you navigate back and forth between apps, and like, what does that one user experience look like? But one of the first basic things that you have to do is like make the controls look the same. There's been a lot of work on the grid, right, as well. So grids in F&O have all this functionality, like grouping and summing and some of those personalization effects that the Dataverse didn't have, so that they've been developing those features on the Dataverse so that we can have parity. So baby steps.
I know this is like totally unrelated, but I realized we haven't talked about it yet. As of last week, we announced the new Finance Premium SKU for Dynamics.
Ooh, yeah.
Which I thought was really exciting and interesting. Yeah. So basically, the first thing that's really included in the new premium offering is business performance analytics and business performance planning. And kind of the logic behind it is when you look at what's licensed in the core Dynamics 365 license, it's not, that's what you get with an ERP. And business performance analytics and business performance planning are not something that you would see in like another core ERP. It's an add-on feature. It's more value that you can get. So it's now part of the new Finance Premium license. And basically the way premium licensing works is that as it's done still by user. So like you might have users that are just finance licensed and just supply chain licensed. Your users who are going to use business performance planning or business performance analytics will get that premium finance license. They'll still be able to do like the SCM attach if they're going to be in both. Not all of your users will have to get the premium license, just the ones using the premium feature. So you still have that like degree of flexibility, but honestly, it's a good model for us because it lets us add more bigger features, right? And like get the value from adding these net new value
Yeah.
adds for customers as well. So I think it's a really exciting announcement and model, and I am very much looking forward to the GA of business performance analytics at the end of the year.
Yeah, I am too. I don't have you seen demos of it? Well, you probably have because I think you've been working on some of the marketing stuff around that. Yeah. It's super cool.
It is super cool. I'm excited, and I know that when they showed us the preview a few months ago, that you were very much trying to make sure we're aligning the business process work that you've been doing with Fast Track along with what we're going to do in product with business performance analytics, because that's also process oriented. So the
Yeah.
30-second spiel on business performance analytics, I'm going to get it right one of these days. I really need to now that I'm in marketing.
It's a lot of BPs.
Yes. So the exciting thing is basically it's a business process oriented data model where you build reports on top of it. And the kind of initial efforts are more finance related, but the long-term goal is to bring the full end-to-end process in as part of, ERP reporting and planning. So the initial templates are a little bit more finance focused, but I'm looking forward to seeing it evolve into kind of a more balanced reporting tool.
Yeah, so primarily record to report and some procure to pay in the initial release.
Right.
But, there's goals to extend to project to profit and order to cash and
hire
all
to
the
retire.
demand to produce. Yeah, hire to retire, all of them. So definitely, yeah.
So yeah, it's been a very busy second half of the calendar year, I feel like. And it's good
I
for us,
feel
though.
like Q1 next year is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many big things. I mean, we will have no shortage of new things to talk about.
You're going to see Copilot features.
Hopefully we can get people to come on and show and demo and talk about all these exciting new things too.
Yes. That's another good point, Rachel, is that we essentially only have one guest scheduled for the beginning of the year, and that's it. So if you have any interest in coming on and talking to us about what's top of mind for you, reach out and let us know. We'll start putting together a new invite list so we can bring in some more folks from Microsoft and pull back the curtain a little bit on some of the work we've been doing. But it's definitely time to start looking at the new year and do a little bit of content planning for sure.
Awesome.
And then I don't know, I'm one last thing because
Okay.
I'm not sure, like if we don't happen to get to it before the end of the year, if we don't have another one of these, I will be at NRF. So any of our listeners who are tuning in, if you're going to be at NRF in January, let me know.
National Retail, what's the F for? Foundation? Federation. It's a big conference.
Yes, it's a big retail conference.
For those of you that are not familiar.
New York. Yeah, it's in New York in January. It's on MLK weekend. So I'm really looking forward to it.
In the retail.
Yeah. We're going to have some really cool Copilot demos at the Microsoft booth. So if you're going to the event, you better come check it out.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Top of Mind with Ann and Rachel. Bye, everyone.